There are lots of different ways buyers can buy. Most people in the public sector think about the one on the left, which is your classic tender process, put out a tender on the likes of Find a Tender Service, FTS, on Contracts Finder, on Proactis, etc. We've got all of those coming into Tussell, of course. That's the kind of bare kind of minimum standard process. That's how people think about procurement happening in its normal sense in the public sector. But there are loads of ways that buyers can buy and lots of routes to market. They can call off via a framework agreement, as I've mentioned before. They don't have to do a new tender process each time. They can use, modify, or extend an existing contract. So if it's something simple that they're buying, you may get in touch with that buyer and simply say, there's already a contract for this. I've already got the contract with that council. You should just buy it through that. Why are you looking for another solution? Or actually, it looks like you're wanting to buy this. If we just extended our existing deal, you could buy it through those means, etc., etc. And then, of course, direct awards. I'm often surprised at this, and people look at it. We had one that we were looking at internally the other day because it was something kind of not kind of competitive to Tussell, but something kind of similar that I'd seen that was a contract award. It was worth £50,000, and the buyer had simply directly awarded that to the supplier. There wasn't a tender process. It's under the threshold that they need to do a fully fledged tender process. So they still need to publish the contract award saying they've awarded that contract, but they don't need to do the full fat procurement all the time and go through a full formal tender process. So if you're selling something which is relatively low cost in the grand scheme of things, you could simply reach out to the buyer, convince them that you're the right solution, and they can just award it to you. And if it's over, there's different thresholds for this throughout public sector, but if it's over, say, £10,000, they might need to publish that award of that contract as a notice and tell the world it's happened, but they wouldn't necessarily need to do a tender. So there are lots of ways you can influence buyers to buy, essentially.